We are live. Let's see what we got going on here. And oil all over the camera lens. Yeah, that should clear things up a little bit. So it looks like we got a 2002 WR250F. Didn't check the VIN, but just from going off the features, it's a 2002 model because of the dipstick location in the center of the frame. The 03 and later models, the YZ250F and 450F, have the dipstick tube on the side of the frame here. This one also has the voltage regulator in this location here. The engines, the only thing would be, I don't know, I'm looking at this and I know they came with the headlight. This has the racing model front number plate, and then looks like they put an LED bar. They try to convert it into like a more of like an enduro or a street bike. This is one of my customers I worked on. If you see my other videos, I worked on their KLX 300R, and that was a really cool bike to work on. That thing needed a lot of work. So they brought me this one here, and we're going to do the same thing, pretty much go through it. I already started on the diagnostics maybe about a week or so ago, and I've just been so busy kind of cleaning everything up here. But looks like, yeah, I got the spark plug and all that stuff out. So I think when I was checking it, I had some notes here. I originally thought it might have been an 03 through 05 YZ250F, but looks like from me looking at it a little bit closer, it's a 2002 WR250F. And the thing about it is I know a lot of these parts are interchangeable between the newer bikes and the WR 426 and YZ 426 models. So this thing could be a little Frankenstein. Um, won't really know until I kind of dig into it. Already kind of had the seat off. Let me put this phone here in case. Probably make it a little bit easier for me to hold. Okay. So yeah, I've been cleaning up lately. Just kind of reorganizing my work area and storage area so I can more efficiently work on customers' bikes. And so I'm finally getting around to this one right here. Upon initial inspection, I don't see anything really tied up to this battery like the charging system. I'm assuming, unless the headlight, I'd have to probably check the wiring diagram, but I don't think from checking the parts manual on this one right here. Let me check the parts. Um, as far as electrical, I don't see a battery, so I'm assuming that the headlight must be ran. It's probably let's see, where's the headlight? Number two. Yeah, it's regular halogen bulb, so it's probably run off the AC system on this bike is what I'm assuming. It's not run off of a battery or DC. It's probably run off of an AC circuit or off the stator, and that's what the rectifier there is for. Probably not to rectify the current, but to just regulate it. Uh, so it'd probably be like a voltage regulator, not a rectifier, since I'm assuming, and that's maybe why this light isn't working here. I don't know. I might have to check that up. I might have to look into the wiring diagram, unless this has been replaced. But I'm assuming that originally, or it could be run off a DC. I'd really have to check the wiring diagram and see what it says as far as if it's ran directly off the stator or if it goes through the volt, this voltage regulator here and it rectifies it to DC current. And if that were the case, then I should be able to run this headlight off of this voltage regulator here, because that would be rectifying it from AC to DC. And you can only run an LED light here off of DC power. If it was like an AC like on Banshees, those are powered directly off the stator. So if you were to try to run an LED light um, off of an AC powered system, it's not going to work. You can only run a incandescent light bulb like the H4 that originally came on this bike here. So I already checked the compression. Compression cold, I had 131 psi. Let's see, we got Revin here. How do I say hi? Oh, I can't. I have to use my other phone. I gotta get in on my other phone here, which is charging. So I can go ahead and get into the chat so I can respond back to people. Let's see, how do I do that? YouTube. All right, sweet. All right, cool. Back on the bike. So yeah, I already started doing the diagnostics on. I gotta turn down the volume on this thing. There we are. So I kind of want to go through, do a diagnostics on this thing. I already checked the compression, and another thing I gotta do is check the service manual. I'm pretty sure these have an automatic decompressor on the exhaust cam, so my compression of 131 psi is probably going to be sufficient, or actually on the better side, I would assume. Who knows if this thing has had any engine work or like had the top end replaced at any point? Maybe had like a high compression piston installed. But from what I can see, I don't know. It looks like there's some weird stuff going on there. Spilt some stuff on it. Uh, has some foot pegs with the screws taken out. Definitely going to need new chain and sprockets. Sprocket teeth are just absolutely worn out. Those are like curved and pointed. Air filter looks okay. Doesn't look like it was installed properly unless I just pulled it back pretty easily right there. But doesn't look like it was installed properly on the inner cage. And then should have already had the gas tank. Yeah, here we go. Take a look inside that gas tank here. But I was basically checking the compression, and I'm kind of wondering, kind of want to do a full inspection for this guy. It looks like the radiator's been crushed the right side, and bike is full of water, so definitely going to want to recommend a coolant flush. So let me see if I can attach it like this. Sweet. Aria, hope you're well. By the way, your bike is very nice. How much is it? This one right here, I'm not sure. With the current market, uh, probably like $2,500 is what I would say a bike like this is worth, assuming that's in good running condition. Let's see, that's not really a good angle there. Let me see if I can find a better angle. Like set up like a GoPro mount or something like that. No, that's not going to work. Well, on this. What kind of angle do I got here? Heck yeah. It's all about the angle, baby. Okay, so that's kind of a better shot. Might be able to see what I'm doing there. I think I kind of like that. So let's see, where do I want to start off on this thing? So just go ahead and jot down some notes here. Coolant flush. Filled with water. Filled with water. Might have a leak too. Right radiator crushed. Right side radiator crushed. Potential leak. Okay, so I'm probably going to want to recommend let's see, probably recommend a right side radiator replacement. Looks like the radiator brace is bent. Okay, what is this, like a works connection or aftermarket? Probably aftermarket. Let's see here. Probably almost want to get a headlamp. 1 second, guys. Okay, I am back. Let's see, what year is your YZ? So this one right here, I think, is a 2002 WR. Initially, I thought it was a YZ also. Um, but the key difference here is the dipstick location in the frame. On the earlier models, it's actually located right here, center mass in the middle of the frame. On the 03 and later models, like to 05, 06, I think they changed it in 06. The dipstick tube is actually located on the left side of the frame where this voltage regulator is located. So I'm actually going to check the oil while I'm at it. And I can't forget on this model if this is like a wet or dry sump right here. Might be a slight dry sump because of the using the tank. Yeah, so I'd have to, yeah, no oil registering on the dipstick. So you have to turn this bike on and get it going to get that oil pushed in basically into the into okay, we live streaming again. Hold on. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. I might have to take a break here in about the next 30 minutes. I got a older Harley Sportster, I believe, getting dropped off, so might have to take a quick little intermission here. Let's go ahead and set the bike up. Okay, so I think I was checking the spark. Spark should be working. Let's see with the key. So I do have ignition. That's good. Let's see. So it looks like this battery here. This battery, I'm assuming they have it wired in to this headlight, and that's the whole purpose of it. So I wonder. Oh wow, look at all that wiring going on behind there. So this is the voltage regulator. I wonder what this is plugged into. So that's plugged into the stator, which is been modified. Looks like the wiring's been modified. So I wonder if this has a bad lightning coil. It's very possible it could be shorted out. Where are these wires going right here? So these go back to the battery. Oh shoot, and to the taillights. So I don't know. This right here could be, assuming they did it correctly. Probably check to see if any of these are grounded right here. So, take our handy dandy multimeter out. Let's do a quick check. And that's the other thing too, is our battery here is pretty much dead. Oh, gotta let my meter warm up. Good old $500 snap-on meter and never freaking works. Huh. I had some company send me a multimeter pen on Amazon here. Let's go ahead and open this bad boy up. Let's see if their meter is any better than my snap-on meter, if I can even take a battery voltage reading. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. Oh, nice. Comes with batteries. That's pretty sweet. Comes with a bunch of terminals. And comes with a, it's like some type of prober. Okay. Very nice. This is the mini pen multimeter. Let's see if this thing even works. I want to give it a chance because when I initially saw it, I'm like, oh, how do I even, how am I supposed to check, something in series if there's only one probe onto it? But it looks like maybe you touch, this is positive and the backside is going to be your ground. So that's kind of cool. I guess I spoke too soon. The next thing we'll just be figuring out is how I actually get batteries into it. How do I do this? Okay, sweet. Let's see. I got a customer coming here shortly. What did he say? Very good. My to copy. You. Okay. Let's go ahead and see my angle here. All right. Comes in 6,000 counts. What's this? I need English, por favor. It's all in a foreign language. Oh, here we go. Troubleshooting. That's a language I can read. Just tell me how to put in the batteries. Let's see, overview. Where's the like a breakdown of it? Huh. Maybe I should just look at it. Hopefully I don't break it. That doesn't look like it comes off. Ah, here we go. Just a little battery door. Oh, okay. Looks like I only need one battery, is what I'm seeing here. Nice, nice. Okay, made a little buzzing sound. Fancy. Let's take off the little tape right here. All right, so here's a plug. I'm gonna assume that goes into the top. Phase sequence detection. Oh, interesting. So it can tell if it can tell what kind of sine wave it's, huh. Let's see, this is pretty intricate right here. Oh, okay, okay. Give me a battery voltage. How about that? The heck does that mean? DC. I got 7.35 volts, 7.4 volts. Interesting. Let me check that against my snap-on meter. I'm assuming it's auto ranging and just kind of, and snap-on meter still hasn't decided it wants to work. I swear that guy must have sold me a defective one because it's always kind of been doing this since I got it. Nope, still doesn't want to. Unless it needs a battery change, it could be a possibility. Nope, still doesn't want to work. That's the snap-on meter for you. It'll eventually decide it wants to work. So let's see here. See if I can figure out this thing. New meter is always kind of so auto. Assuming it's auto ranging, it says 7.44 volts DC. There's a little V. So it's kind of hard to see here, but it's okay. Maybe I'll the people that sent me this pen here, they want to make wanted me to make a kind of an in-depth video, but I mean this might be the best that you're going to get right here. So let me just see if we have any power. I have 7 volts, so I should be getting, let me see if I can attach one of their probes. Okay. Very nice. This is pretty quick and nimble. Let's see, do we have anything going on here? Looks like we got continuity to ground, as I'm assuming that's what that means. Well, this probe feels a little loose. It's designed to be that way. 7, all right, so this is a hot. It's got 83 ohms. So there's some resistance here. So I'm assuming that's flowing to ground. So this must go, yeah, this is power and probably goes through the bulb or to the light is what I'm assuming. And then through the diode to ground. That's why there's some resistance here, but I don't have full continuity. So that tells me it's going through some type of resistor or load, whether that be a motor. Obviously, in this case, it's going to be a light. So I probably could go a little further. That looks like a stripped out 10 millimeter. Let's see here. Let's just see what kind of Mickey Mouse work we got going on here. Just trying to see if I can work with what the pre-existing harness, or if I'm going to recommend something else like redoing it or replacing it. And the reason why is because the original setup was very simple. There should be basically power coming out of this here. I don't know if it had a switch. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure whenever you turned on the bike, pretty much, just powered up the light. And so let's take a look here and see what we got going on. Just zip tied to it, so I'm gonna have to cut those zip ties. All right, so we got a bunch of spaghetti going on over here. Holy cow. Let's see, is that the angle right there? Kinda. Okay. So it looks like we got a horn. Assuming that goes to the switch here. So there may or may not be power going through it. Looks like this is a relay. Looks like the terminals on everything's rusted out. Just from judging by the condition of this system here. I'm gonna have to probably do a full diagnostics on the electrical side, but more than likely it would be replacing, if they want all the lights and stuff like that, probably replace it, just because it looks kind of Mickey Mouse to me, and I'm not sure what kind of kit this was here. Let's see. Maybe I can spend just a couple more minutes. I'd like to know where the original power wires are, but it looks like those wires may have been omitted or cut out at some point. Where does this go? Right here. So this is off the stator. I want to know where those go. So that's tied in there. That ties into there. Where does this go? Into the CDI. So that's probably one leg powering the CDI, which makes sense. I got spark, so I can assume that's hopefully working. Where's that yellow? Does this one have yellow? Where does that actually? No, that wire doesn't go up, it goes down. Oh, okay. That's because it's coming directly off the stator. Wait, I only got one leg coming off the stator? No. Oh, this has been cut and modified. Oops. So this is what goes into the harness. Yellow there. Looks like it splices off. So it looks like it goes from series to parallel. So I can check it right here. Make sure none of these are grounded. Huh, there's something in here. I don't know if I'm on select DC, AC, volts, APO, APOF, hertz, auto, DC, AC. What's that? NF, volts. Oh no, there we go. Ohms. So it looks like, where does this go? Right here. None of these are shorted to ground. Let me check these. Now let me double check this. Because that battery, is this battery even connected to ground? Nope. All right, got continuity there. Let's redo this test. Ooh, that's grounded out. And that's grounded. So that looks like a ground though, but that yellow one, that's coming off the stator. That should be a hot leg. I'm assuming, because this right here goes into the rectifier here. Yeah, so that tells me the stator is actually shorted out. That's why that's not working. And I had continuity on this part right here. So this is basically ground. I had continuity ground on the harness on this red here. That's basically our 12 volts hot coming off the battery that had continuity to the battery 12 volt side. And then this right here has resistance to ground, which if it's wired correctly, I don't know, I don't have a actual, there aren't really ohm readings to go off of, but typically this is a hot right here that's going to flow through some type of resistor like an LED light bulb or an incandescent light bulb to ground. So that's why I have resistance to ground. It's not open and I'm not getting direct power. So that tells me there's a good chance that this is working. The reason why our stator fried or is shorted out, I'm pretty sure if I pull this cover here, I'm going to see that the lightning coils around it are shorted out. There's also a pulse sensor that's incorporated into it. That's probably going to be, without checking the wiring diagram, it's probably going to be a combination of one of these two wires here. Pretty much like a positive and a negative AC current. And basically what that's going to do is that's what's going to send a signal to the CDI box to let the, CDI box know the crankshaft position. And that's what basically, tells it to fire. And then also there may be a, forget what it's called, but there's like another part of the winding. There's the lightning coils, which basically power like your lights. And then there's probably like another I forget what they call it exactly, but another electrical component within the stator. It's just basically like another coil. And what that does is that actually is what powers the CDI box. So the fact that I have spark and I'm assuming, I think the customer said it runs. I could probably try that out. I'm pretty sure it would start up with a little bit of starter fluid. That would confirm that the CDI box is working and the stator is working, or at least the parts required for the ignition to function. But as far as the charging side, those might be bad. And even a step further, I might even recommend replacing the voltage regulator here. It's probably going to be important. And then I need to also do a little bit of research and see if, and that's where it's going to come down to, is having the right lighting kit on this right here. Obviously, it goes through the battery, and I'd have to look at it even more. I only see one lead going here. Um, It depends on how it's wired. If this is wired, let me see, because essentially you should have power that goes through the voltage regulator here to like power, your electrical components. And then also there should be a leg going back to keep your battery charged. And I only see one wire going here. So unless this is like spliced into it, which I highly doubt, it's probably designed to have, it's this lighting system here. It's designed to have already like a charging circuit onto it. So it depends on how this voltage regulator here was wired into the wiring harness, if it was wired incorrectly or not. Um, my best guess is it's possible it's not. It could be compatible. I'm not sure. So we'd be taking a risk, I feel like, just because of the condition of it and it's shorted out. I'm gonna say probably replace it all and wire it in all new if they want it, or if not, uh, basically remove all this extra lighting bull crap, put the original incandescent light in, and then look at the wiring diagram and see if basically how I just get the two wires that go to the headlight instead of having all this like extra stuff. Okay, so recommendation recommendation on lighting. So we could, let's see, if he wants the LED bar, how could we run the LED bar if he wants that big LED bar? So I have to spend more time. Recommend on lighting. So I wonder though, depending on how this is wired, we have battery voltage here. So I'm assuming that that LED light there should, so let me see if I could jump these right here. If I basically, what, this is a ground. I wonder if what the ground's for. So this probably needs to be grounded. Let me see. Where's that switch? So let me check this switch really quick. So there's some continuity there. That Okay, so no, fuse is still good, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I got voltage going through it. Battery voltage is good. I'm gonna cut all these wires. This is probably going to the relay. So, guess now would be time to check this relay here. Stick ground, 6 volts. Okay, that gets 4 volts. Okay, so probably safe to assume if the relay's not working, what is this right here? Power out. So that's to the light. So it's basically be able to find out unless I look. So I trace this one right here. See, it's kind of hard without tearing off the insulation. Nope. Oh, all right, guys. I'm gonna have to cut this one a little short. Customer's here to drop off a Harley, so I'll be back, and we're just gonna go ahead and write it up. I think I'm gonna have to spend a little bit more time on the electrical diagnostics for this guy. So we'll see if they authorize it, and if they do, then we'll write up an estimate. If not, I'm going to kind of leave the electrical off to the side and uh, just kind of keep it basic. Figured out the ignition system is functioning, but the lighting coil on the stator is no good. As far as all the other function of the aftermarket harness, that's going to require a little bit more time. So just going to go ahead and wrap it up, and we'll be back. All right, guys. Thanks.